Hey, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto, and we're looking at a 1991 Honda NSX. This one was just 90,000 kilometers, automatic transmission. We got the front trunk open here just to show you what it looks like. Normally I wouldn't have that open, but it has lots of trunks because it's mid-engine. This one's got the space saver spare. You need a air pump in order to pump that up. Okay, and the battery is just down in there as well. You need to take the air tire out to get to the battery. Okay, quick look at the engine. It said J30, 200 and, geez, how much power do these have? 280 horsepower out of a 3-liter V6. Nice large trunk considering it's a mid-engine car. Okay, the engine does run fine, but the car shakes a little bit. And just close this, and lots of covers here. Take this out, put it in there, close the engine cover, and then close the glass. And try that again. There we go. Okay, let's switch the engine off for the rest of the report. Overall impression is pretty good. When you are targeting the lowest price, by the way, the AC works well. When you're targeting the lowest price version of a car, you have a good chance of getting a piece of junk. This is not a piece of junk. It seems pretty good. It has had some repainted sections on several areas. It's not too bad. Although, excuse me, it does have the original paint over here, which is faded. So probably the worst part of the car is that the side sill and the door both need to be repainted. I couldn't find anywhere else that it looked like it was required. It's got a type of paint fade that looks like scratches. You can see it in the side panel check video before it got all wet. And pardon me for shooting this in the wet, but unfortunately, as much as we try to avoid the rain, sometimes it sneaks up on us and we have to shoot some cars in the rain. Now, the rest of the panels have been repainted. The repaint, it is not the world's best repaint. It's not terrible, but the paint quality itself, like not talking about the labor in doing it, but the quality of the paint that they bought is kind of low quality. And you can tell that with the silvers because it has this kind of weird sheen to it, almost artificial looking, which the original paint doesn't have. Okay, I only have the original of the auction sheet, and so it's a little bit hard to read, but I'll read this to you right now. It says it's a 91 NSX grade R interior B with 9,303 kilometers. Okay, registered until 2024, leather seats, authentic mileage in the 90,000s, and purchased from user. Aftermarket 18-inch wheels. It's actually 17 and 18, so 17's on the front and 18's on the rear. They're an NK lightweight wheel. Will improve performance a little bit. Automatic AC, airbag, power. I can't read that. It's hard to read because it's faded a little bit. Power zukontore. I don't know. Power something. Okay, fog lamps. Drive recorder, aftermarket navi. Refer to your actual translation because some of these I might not be able to read very well because look, you can't read it very well. It comes with a navi unit in it, and roof is black. Okay, owner's manual, warranty paper, spare key, and has a whole bunch of history papers from 96 all the way to 2018. Okay, has been in a rear end accident. And the rear end accident required the rear inner panel to be dented. Okay. So, you can feel this fender to the trunk is a little bit off. It's not too bad. It's all isolated to this area. So here we have the spoiler a little bit. Oh, is this closed properly? Oh, weird. This part is a little bit higher than this part. And then this part is a little bit higher than this part. If you have a look at it, you might be able to notice. For the most part, it doesn't look too bad. There are some new cars that are lined up worse than that, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. This side feels fine. Okay, let's go back to the auction sheet. So interior wear and dirty, it looked fine to me. Sun visor is cracked and has a repair. Really? That is something I did not notice. Oh, okay. So, see the edge of this is black? A part of it has been cut out and then glued. A really weird little problem, but not too much of a concern, I would say. Okay, left rear end panel, I already said that. Very scratches, dents, and repairs. Windshield scratch, A2 on the front bumper, A2 over here. The A2 I already mentioned, it's really not an A2, it's a paint fade. Okay. Excuse me. So, a good looking car. It's been probably about a year since we've exported an NSX, and as I said on the phone to you, this is probably my favorite car of all time if I had to choose one. If I wanted, and I said this to you as well on the phone, like, if I were to buy, of course I could afford one of these, but if I were to buy one that I want, in the condition that I want, I have to spend more than I feel like it's worth. Oh, spiderweb in the face. Do I have any spiders in my face? 6 or 7 of them? Okay. So yeah, I think the car is gorgeous looking, but I don't think it's the looks per se that attract me to the car. It's more about the way that the car feels. The engine, when you rev it, the way it feels and turn into the corner, the way you can accelerate out of a corner because it being mid-engine. It just really hit everything. And it's not like a modern car. There are faster cars, there are cars that handle better than this, but they don't feel as good when they're doing it. Once you get too much power, you end up having to drive the car timidly. And this one you can drive as aggressively as you want, which is something that you're not seeing anymore. Car manufacturers aren't making lower powered sports cars. And because, you know, they would get destroyed on the internet. People would say, oh, well, this car's got more power. Well, it's most fun with around this much power. Maybe a little bit more could be nice, but getting more power is a slippery slope. And you can absolutely have more fun in this than any car with 400 horsepower, I would think. Okay, so the paint there, you can see a little bit of wave, a little bit of unevenness. But for the most part, it looks like it's pretty good. Of course, when it's not wet, you'll be able to see more of the imperfections, but I wouldn't worry about it. For the price that you paid for this, you deserve to have gotten a worse car, which is a weird way to put it, but I'm glad that you got something that looks this nice. Let me show you some bad paint on the black section. Right here, there's a paint blemish, and there's a similar paint blemish to it up here, actually 2 of them. And then I heard there's some of it in this area, might not be able to see because of the rain at the moment. But everything appears to be minor defects. Here you've got those paint blemishes again right there. On to the interior now. Very different feel inside one of these cars than most other cars. The layout of it, the seating position, the way with engine making sounds from behind your head. Door cards are good. Door handle has a bit of wear, but it's actually made out of leather, so it can be restored. This is made out of leather. These are made out of leather. This is made out of vinyl, but it is a soft touch vinyl, and everything appears to be in pretty good condition. Seats, some of the better ones that I've seen. It only has 90,000 kilometers on it, so that's nice. Nice and black, no big cracks anywhere. Bolster is looking good in here, and it looks like a fixed bucket seat. It's not. You can actually move this back up and down. It takes a little bit of getting used to for the seating position because you're so low to the ground and you sit with your legs right out in front of you. For someone like me, I'm used to cars like that and always have been because my first cars were from the 70s and 80s and where that was more popular. Nowadays, most of the cars are upright more and give you like a sitting in a chair feeling a little bit more. This one feels, if you're not used to this kind of feeling of the sitting back, legs out in front, it does give you a kind of an awkward feeling, but a little bit of a more sporting feeling. Steering wheel has been wrapped in a new leather wrapping. It doesn't look bad, but it's obvious it's not the original one. Floor carpet a little bit dirty, but not too bad. Pedals feel good. Center stack and console looking fine. Let me pop in order to see that. I don't feel like it's been smoked in. Oh, and look at this. This car and the Fairlady both have a very steep waterfall. Unique feeling. There aren't really too many cars that feel just like this. It looks dated by today's standards, but the simplicity has a charm to it, and it does look a classic. Look at this, a couple of air vents in the door. And then a couple here, and that's all you get. These inserts here are Alcantara. They feel nice and are a nice little addition to the otherwise kind of boring plastic. I like that. Here's your Carzaria Navi screen. It has a rear camera, which is nice because the car's not the easiest to see out the rear. Can't open that. I'm not sure why. Fog lights. Openable case. Has a lock nut in there. Yeah, just nice. Okay, well, let's hop out. I think we're going to shut down the report there. So I think you can be excited about this. We'll send you an email as soon as we know when it's going to be shipped. It can take a little bit of time because these days things are a little bit weird and we're not getting notification until like 3 days before the vessel departs. But if you want to get like an estimate of when it might be leaving, we can let you know. Otherwise, yeah, you can have an NSX in your dreams and think about this until it lands. That's going to be all for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching and have a nice day.